Hi everybody, we have a Labradoodle puppy litter update video for you. In today's video, we're going to tell you a little bit about each of these Labradoodle puppies. These are all chocolate Labradoodle puppies, and they are 4 weeks old. Hi, I'm Claire from Isle Doodles, and we're going to get up close and personal with the puppies from the Firefly litter. These really cute little Australian Labradoodle puppies at 4 weeks old are doing so many fun things. And let's start off with something that's really fun to look at, and that's this puppy here. This is dark blue collar, and look at his coat. Isn't that hilarious where he's got this little crew cut going on? That is because his coat is lifting. So you've heard me talk about coats lifting before. And what that is as the Labradoodle puppies get a little bit older, then their coats start to come in and they fill out, and that's what we call lifting. So you can see dark blue color is really there. And then you just got a little taste of all the sounds that are going on now. This is purple collar boy here, and he was the one who was giving you his little welcome, but there with his little bark. You see the puppies have got toys now, and you can see there's all the tails are going 100 miles an hour. And oh my goodness, we're just having so much conversation here today. That's Orange Collar giving us a little talk. Orange Collar likes to communicate with us quite a bit. Purple Collar is a good communicator. Silver and light blue are a little bit more talkative with their eyes, but everybody growls and plays and roars around now and just has a great time. And what are you doing over here, Mr. Green Collar, all by yourself? Mr. Green Collar is just having an extra nap, I guess, this morning. Hey, sweetie, you gonna come out? Come on, buddy. Yeah. And most of them are on this game schedule all the time, but sometimes you'll see that one of them will be asleep when everyone else is playing. So what's happening with these puppies? Well, they've gotten to the stage of their development now where they have lots of mobility. There's no issues with them being able to navigate. And one of the things you'll see we've added into their area here is this round rubber bowl. Now you might wonder what on earth we would give that to a puppy for. So what this actually is a grain bowl for horses. If you've ever had horses, this is what you put the grain in, and you take it out, you shake it, and the horses all come to you like crazy, because horses don't have recall like dogs do. So this is in here for a couple of things. Now one of the things is we don't put the donut beds in with the puppies at this age, just because the sides are a little bit higher for them, so it makes it a little bit more frustrating for them when they're trying to negotiate and get in, and also because right now they are chewing everything and anything. So we tend to use less expensive, easier care things like these nice thick blankets here for them. And then this actually mimics the donut bed shape. So you can see that the high sides here, they're firm. So when the puppies go in here, and they'll go in here and sleep in pairs, sometimes even 3 of them right now, that mimics being up against Penny. Now you'll see that Mama Labradoodle Penny is not with us today, and that's because at 4 weeks these puppies are onto solid food and she is spending more time away from them. So when she's away from them, being in this bowl gives them that same feeling of lying up against their mama and having that comfort that comes psychologically with nursing with your Mama Labradoodle. So that's part of why the puppies are all drawn to it. Plus, it's great for teaching them problem-solving skills, getting in, getting out. And then sometimes we'll flip it over like this, and we'll get them to start climbing on top of it. Now, after we've introduced this to them, next week we'll introduce the wobble board to them. Or we may even do that this week, because these guys are quite advanced. They're really not having any troubles negotiating anything. So then they climb up on here, and they learn, oh, height. Not to be scared of height, how to get up, how to get down, what happens if you go backwards. And that's all in preparation for the different toys and equipment we have for them. Toys are really important, and it's really important that you do the right toys at the right time for development. So you'll see these toys are primarily not all toys that come in our puppy starter kit. And that's because the toys in the puppy starter kit are more appropriate for 8-week-old puppies. So we have little cheapy things like this. It has a little crunchy sound to it. It's soft, so this is perfect for teething at this age. So are my toes. Yes, don't eat my toes. Nice and soft, but they get that psychological relief that they need when they have to put everything into their mouths. Same with this little cheap donut here. And, oh, look at that. Oh, what's that? Now this is really good for the puppies to learn that sometimes they're going to encounter unexpected sounds. So this is all part of learning. So we want the puppies to learn in a really positive, safe, and an environment that makes them eager to explore and try new things. We don't want anything that's overwhelming to them or anything that's frightening. And each puppy is going to be different in their development and how soon they like to do those things. So you can see right now Silver Collar Girl is sitting over here and she's crying. So that's fine. We don't ever want to do that old approach where we used to say with babies as well as puppies, where we just let them cry it out. We want to give them security. We want to let them know that we're always there for them and that they're always safe. That way, it's a positive experience and they're willing to go out and try things, as opposed to if we just left them alone and let them be scared, well, that wouldn't teach them anything but that life is something to avoid. You know, dogs aren't designed to live in our world, so it's a really, you can imagine, overwhelmingly strange experience to be living in this world with all these people and all these strange things, you know, vacuum cleaners, washing machines, all sorts of stuff there. And you can see Silver startled a bit there when I petted her. So that's okay, baby. Yeah, that's okay, baby. So we just give her lots of love and soft talks, and then we just do it again. And if she's really worried, see how she licked her lips there? So that's a sign to me that she's not ready for me to do that. So we won't continue to do that. So then we go back to doing something she's comfy with, such as touching noses, just having a huggle, and a little bit of a touch under the chin. And then we'll approach the head from behind. Well, see, she's still not too keen on that, but she didn't see that that was my hand, and now she's yawning, and she's yawning because she's stressed. So she's had enough. That's all my signals. So I'm just going to put her right down here, right next to me. I'll still keep touching her, and we'll just let her come along at her own speed. This may change even this afternoon. Now you see these two guys, they're just rough and ready, and they're growling and they're playing and they're just so ready to go. And now Silver Collar is almost always like this, so it's not that this is a shy or an afraid puppy. It's just that right at this moment, she's not in the mood to do these things. Just like kids, you can have your own child who at 1 minute is bold and adventuresome and wants to go and try the high swing, and then later in the afternoon is petrified of the playground and doesn't want to have anything to do with it. So it's just a matter always of being sensitive and aware of what your puppy's telling you and responding to that. So this is all part and parcel of learning. Learning doesn't stop when your puppy goes home with you. Learning doesn't stop after you've taken classes. Learning doesn't stop until the day your puppy passes away, because it changes every day. Your dogs are always teaching you something. And if you can open your eyes and open your mind, it's amazing what you can learn from them. And they're always talking to you with their bodies. So it's just a matter of learning a different language. It's a bit like learning sign language. If you've ever watched someone who signs, it's not just their hands that are speaking. They use their whole body, and they emote a lot of emotion when they are signing, so that the whole feel, the tenor of that conversation comes through. So if you see someone signing at a news conference and they're speaking about a natural disaster, their face is always, concerned, and they're worried, and they're sad, and their whole body speaks that language. And if you see someone in a news conference where perhaps a politician is announcing their victory, then the signer is happy and they're really engaged, and their whole body is moving, and it's more upright, and it's got more physical movement to it. So it's really fun to take a few minutes out of your day, watch a couple of TV shows, usually they're American news shows, where there's someone signing, and look at the signer and what they're doing, because that's what your puppy's doing, except for they're not doing the hand movement. Instead of the hand movement, It's their ears, it's their eyes, and their mouths, and their tail. Those are the things they use to communicate how they're feeling. So you can see when these ones are running around and they're playing and they're growling. Here's Mr. Purple Collar. Tail is wagging. It's in a happy, relaxed position. Ears are up and forward. He's growling, but you could tell when he's growling, he's not growling because he's mad. He's growling because he's just having so much fun. Oh, and now he's saying, hey, put me down. I don't want to be up here. I want to go play with my friends. Yeah. So sometimes it's the voice, but now look at his expression. Much more worried, and a little bit of a frown almost. He says, I don't want to do that. So that's not the time when you want to be hugging him and coming up for snuggle time, because clearly he's in a playful mood. So those are really obvious signals, but these are all the part and parcel of what you want to start looking for with your puppy when your puppy comes home. Now Mr. Dark Blue Collar with his hair just, I can't stop giggling at him with his great big bit that's lifted up. Then he's got some smaller bits over there. Purple Collar's got some lifting on his leg here. Orange Collar, not so much lifting going on, a little bit up around the neck, but he's the softer, smoother coated puppy, so his isn't, well here we got a little bit of a ridge going on here. That's his little center cowlick. And light blue collar boy there, his is still just sitting there pretty flat. And over here we have, who are you, Mr. Green Collar, I think? Yep, Green Collar. You can see Green Collar has lots of lift going on, but his lift is a little bit more symmetrical than Mr. Orange, Dark Blue Collar's, so he doesn't look quite so hilarious. You want to say hi to everybody? Now Mr. Green Collar was the one that was sleeping when we first started the video, and you can see he's still a little bit, he's not as lively and alert as the other puppies with lots of lively looking activity going on with his body. So all of these things that are happening with the puppies are all really important for us to observe and to know how to deal with each puppy. Because how Mr. Orange Collar learns is not going to be the same as Mr. Green Collar, Mr. Purple Collar, or any of them. We're going to learn together with them all the same things, but we're not going to learn them in the same way. Just like with people, we don't all respond equally to the same things. Some of us learn by picture, some of us learn by example. Some of us are more responsive to just some soft, gentle encouragement and kind words. Others are more encouraged if we go, hey, come on, let's have fun. Yay, what are we doing, puppies? Oh, puppies, yay, puppies. Now you see they all responded differently to that. You can see Silver Collar here, who's having her little fear day here. She startled and put her head back, so you would know that wasn't good for her. Orange, Purple, and Dark Blue were all like, yeah, what are we gonna do? Tails were wagging, ears were up, eyes were alert. You'll see a couple of puppies too their feet are getting stuck on my pants, and that's because they haven't had, like here, they haven't had their claws cut today. So that is what's going to happen immediately following. Oh, see, okay, baby, okay. There we go. So being lifted up today is not something on Silver Collar's agenda. But see, now I can touch her head. So we have made a step forward, and that's all we do is we just watch and observe. So this is something that all goes into our Head Start program. And for all of you that are on this puppy reservation list, if you have not already signed up for Head Start, I believe pretty much all of you have, but for the one or two of you that haven't signed up for Head Start, now's the time to start thinking about whether you'd like to do that. If the entire litter signs up for Head Start, we start doing things right at 5 weeks. If there's one or two people who don't, then we wait to allocation. The process is designed to work within the 10 days between allocation and pickup day. It doesn't require any period of time longer than that. It just gives you an extra bonus in that they get a little bit more if everybody does sign up. And in Head Start, what we do is we focus more on each of the puppies as an individual. All the puppies as a group go outside. They all have experiences like this. They all go as a group into a crate. But in Head Start, we take the individual puppy and also your individual circumstances, and we work with those together. So let's say you have a cat. Then we will take the puppy that's allocated to you, and this will start after allocation day, obviously, and we'll expose your puppy to a cat, whereas we don't normally expose the dogs to cats. We don't have any cats, so that involves Taylor taking the puppy to her house, and her cat becomes the guinea pig, so to speak, for the puppy training with cats. There you go, baby. There you go. You okay now? Yeah. This is actually light blue, not silver. I was telling you it was... Well, that was our musical interlude. Thank you to Mr. Dark Blue Collar. He's practicing his calling techniques. I'm not sure, are you going to be maybe a hunting dog or something? We do have a couple of dogs that are hunting dogs. These dogs all do have gun dog backgrounds, gun dog and retriever, obviously. So those instincts are there naturally. And I'm sorry, when I was telling you it was Silver Collar who was afraid today, that was Mr. Light Blue Collar. Their collars, after they've had them on for a while, start to all look the same color. And if you look at Mr. Dark Blue Collar, if he'll let me just interrupt him for a minute. Come here, buddy. He has a different collar on. So we start off with, hey, sweetie, there, I don't want to scare you. This is Mr. Light Blue that I thought was silver. Mr. Light Blue's collar here is a Velcro one. And so it's just little, it's fairly soft, and it adjusts really easily in size. So that's what we start when the puppies are first born, because they do get adjusted so frequently. Then when they get a little bit bigger, we move them up to these ribbon collars that have a slightly different snap on them. They have more of a full actual snap so that the puppies don't pull them off from each other as much. There you go. And they too can be adjusted quite readily. Mr. Orange Collar somehow or other has managed to get his to loosen up quite a bit. And then sometimes he puts his foot through it. So I think I'm going to change him to a different brand of one like that, because I think it's probably been washed in the washing machine too many times. There we go. Are you chewing on me? So there's Mr. Light Blue Collar now. See, feeling a little bit more confident, happy to chew on me. And we let them chew on us now because we're still letting them get used to what skin feels like and what the difference is between people and things that are okay to chew on. Mr. Purple Collar is having a little bit of a nap here. They're all going to fall asleep. They don't stay awake for that long yet. When you come for your puppy family visit on the weekend, we probably won't get the whole hour of the puppies being awake, but they are, of course, being awake for longer periods of time now as they get older. So in Head Start, we just do very focused work on the individual puppy. So if your puppy's in Head Start, for instance, so let's say we had Light Blue and Light Blue was going through this little fear phase, then we would take Mr. Light Blue out and away from his litter mates so that he was hanging out more with us and becoming more and more comfortable with that. Because right now he's just in a period where he's getting all of his comfort from his litter mates and not feeling so comforted by being separated from them. So we just do things like this and we spend time doing that. Whereas otherwise we just do everything as a group with the puppies. And then once he was over himself like this, then we will also take each of the puppies in Head Start and we move them out into the main living area with our adult dogs so that they become familiar with how to deal with adult dogs. And we also have them in the crate and they learn to sleep overnight in the crate before they go home to you. We also do some house training work with them in the house as well as with our doggy door here in the Doodle Den. So there now you see Light Blue Collar had quite a little bit of a breakthrough there where he was much more comfortable with being around, and he's got no problem with having me touching him on the head. And so just before we end this video, I'm going to let him in, so he's trying to come up on me. And so I'm going to pick him up just to here, because we always start with the comfort zone. We start slow and we go, yeah, okay, there's a good boy. Good boy, baby. And we see that he's relaxed. We make sure that his body, his muscles are relaxed and he's okay right there. And then we just move him back to where it was that he was uncomfortable before. And there we go. What a good boy. What a good puppy. Yes, that's my good puppy, yeah. And we just talk nice and soft. Hold them close. There, now we're doing everything that scared him when we started this video. And now he's totally fine, and he's relaxing right into my hand, and he'll fall asleep if I let him. So that's how we listen and how we adapt. And then we don't just plunk him down. We put him back to where we started, level 1, so to speak. Put him there. Make sure we get another little bit of snugs going on. And then I'm just going to put him right down beside me and say, there you go, buddy. There. And if I'm lucky, he's going to feel that he wants to be safe and secure touching me and being next to me. And then that's what I consider a really good, successful learning experience with him this morning. You also want to keep your training sessions very short. Puppies have a very short attention span, as you can see. They're all flopped out now. They've all had their running around, going crazy, barking and growling, and now they're all crashed. So it's very, very short period of time. You don't want to overwhelm them. You don't want to keep going. And if Mr. Light Blue had not responded favorably just now, I would have just left him and walked away and then come back in about 2 hours and try it again. And see, now he's quite settled, but he still has, you probably can't see, but he still has the back part of his body touching me. There he goes, he just got closer to me, snuggling up with me, and he's picked me over the other puppies. That's exactly what my goal was, and so I'm really happy that we made so much progress there. So that's a little bit of an inside view of how we work with the puppies. Gives you, I hope, a little bit of an insight as to how to read your dogs, how to deal with it. Of course, one of the most important aspects of all that was that I wasn't in the least bit upset and I wasn't pushing him. You don't want to have like a book that says, today we must learn how to sit, today we must learn this, and then focus so much on that. It's way more important to build the relationship, the trust, and the bond, and then never mind about the actual physical thing like the sit, the stay, the come. That will all happen, but none of it will happen if you don't have that underlying foundation of trust. And that's what we're working on at 4 weeks of age with our little Labradoodle puppies, where we establish lots of trust. And then next, after that, when they're 6 weeks, then we start to establish respect. But for the next 2 weeks, it's all going to be about trust and being welcoming to new experiences. So if you have any questions about any of that, if you're interested in any resources about learning more about how to bond with your puppy, anything like that, feel free to comment below the video here. I'm always happy to answer your questions. And Mr. Purple Collar here, see, he's sleeping. I'm going to use him as my example here. Now this is our handsome little phantom. You can see his pretty phantom markings. He has more pronounced markings on the side of his legs than the front of his legs. But see, he's kind of dozy, and this is what I want. I want to take advantage of him being dozy and just take that moment to have a special moment with him where he smells me, he's being held by me, we do a little rock, soft voice. And so he now associates, oh, I had that really relaxing sleep. And now he's associating that with being held and picked up by me. So thanks so much for watching. This week is our puppy family visit, so we do not have a week 5 update video. So we'll see you again for week 6, we hope. But in the meantime, we do have Moonbeams weekly updates going on. The Moonbeams litter will have their 2-week episode airing later this week. So we hope you'll join us for that and learn a little bit more about Labradoodles. Thanks so much for watching.